Hi, my name is Michelle Silverstone, and welcome to Personality Profiles. And on this show, what we do is we interview famous entrepreneurs, people who are motivational, people who are inspirational. And today, we have an amazing guest, Florine Mark. Florine, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
So Florine, for many years, we've known your name, and we've seen you everywhere. How did this whole Weight Watchers begin? What are the very beginning that got you involved in it, and where did it start?
I was a fat kid. I was born so fat, my mother tells a story, she bought my diapers in Lane Bryant's. So, you know, I was pretty fat
No.
there. Yeah, that's
Really?
the truth. No, she's just joking. It was just a joke. But I came from a very fat family, and we were very poor. Not very fat. I didn't even know I was fat at that time. But I
Pleasantly plump.
Yeah, right. I lived with 13 family members, grandmother, grandfather, 6 aunts and uncles, mother, father, and 2 sisters, all in the same house.
Here in Detroit?
Here in Detroit, on Elmhurst and Linwood. And the most wonderful room in the whole house was the dining room and the kitchen, and my grandmother cooked, and everything, you know, was just wonderful. And I was very well loved, because there were so many people in the house, and my sisters and I were just, you know, little kids. My sister got polio when I was about 11. She was 9. She was almost 10. And I went to work when I was 11. We all did, because we had no health insurance. We had no insurance at all, and, you know.
What did you do at 11 years old?
I worked in a donut shop.
Oh.
I was a big girl, you know.
Okay.
I really was a big girl.
Yeah.
I was a big girl, and I was probably, you know, almost reached my height that I am now. And I was fat, and I looked older. In fact, I probably look younger now than I did, you know, when I was in my teenage years. And life was fine. We didn't know that we were not wealthy, or we were rich. I wore all hand-me-downs, and every time love was food. My grandmother was a great cook. My mother was a great cook. We ate a lot of sweets, a lot of noodles, because they were very cheap.
Right.
And we had noodles with sour cream, and noodles with meat sauce, and noodles with butter, and noodles with vegetables, and noodles and noodles and noodles. In fact, today I just won't even look at pasta because I ate so much of it when I was younger. And when I was about 12, I asked my mother I wanted to lose weight, because the kids called me Fat Flo. My name is Florine, and they nicknamed hated it. Oh, you know, mean girls.
Were your siblings, were your sisters heavy too at the time?
Yeah, they were,
Okay.
right. But you know, it was really sad. I see what's going on today. I see on the television where I just saw 2 girls this morning, 2 young teenagers that committed suicide. And the kids were teasing them because one was very fat and she was a redhead. And, you know, my heart went out to her. And I guess this has been going on for years, because it certainly went on with me. And I was different. I was fat. I didn't have time to play with the other kids because I had to go home and help clean the house. My mother was busy with my sister in hospitals. And you know, it was a very different life that I grew up with as a teenager. And so I went to a diet doctor. My mother gave me some money, and that she had saved. And
really been hard for your family too.
It was, and the doctor gave me a 1,000-calorie diet, and gave me all these pills, and I would eat these pills, and my heart would beat fast, and I was always nervous and running to the bathroom, and the pills were thyroid and amphetamines.
Oh, so it's so messed up
the
just body.
Terrible,
especially at a young age.
Right.
Did it help at all? Or?
Well, I didn't use the diet. I mean, everybody knew how to diet then. You just don't eat breakfast, okay? Don't eat breakfast. You don't eat lunch. And for dinner, you had a half a grapefruit, because in those days, grapefruit seemed to be the magic thing. Eat grapefruit and you're going to lose weight, which is, of course, false. Grapefruit is like an orange. It's 50 calories. There's no difference. So that's what I did. I had grapefruit and a steak every single night, or some piece of meat, or some piece of chicken, and I didn't eat after dinner. And yeah, I lost weight. I went back to the doctor on a weekly basis and paid him more money, and he gave me more pills.
This is when you were like 12, 13?
Yeah, you're right. Okay. And I mean, I lost it very, very fast. And then when I couldn't stand it anymore because I was so nervous, from taking these pills and so hyper and so anxious and always feeling terrible. The pills made me feel terrible. So then I'd have to, cheat a little bit. So I would have a little bit of candy here or a candy bar there, or, take a little bit and go from take my mother's cookies or whatever else. I'd hide them in the closet. I'd hide them under the bed. I'd throw the wrappers in the garbage can so nobody would know who was eating them. And that's what I became
so
really.
Sad that you felt you had to hide them, but I get it.
I became a thief and a cheat. I was cheating myself, and I was a thief because I was really cheating and stealing from my own life. I wasn't healthy and I wasn't feeling good, but I managed to lose the weight. As soon as I stopped the doctor, I've got it now. I can really, know how to lose this weight. And then little by little, I started eating more and more and more and more, and then I'd gain the weight back.
Okay.
And then
how much are you talking?
I did this 9 times on these diet pills. And in the meantime, I got married when I was thin. When I was 16 in February. I was 2 grades ahead of myself. I was double promoted, and I went to summer school all the time because I wasn't going to go out and go on the beach or go into the swimming pools because I didn't want anyone to see what I looked like in a bathing suit. Because I was like a pear shape, from the waist down. It was where all my fat was carried. So I was 16 in February. I graduated high school in June, got married in August, had a baby the following September, and was thin during the wedding time in a borrowed wedding gown, and then got fatter and fatter with the baby. And each time I had more children, I gained 65 pounds with each pregnancy.
And how many children do you have? I
have 5.
Wow.
And I had all 5 by the time I was 25 years old. And
Busy
I
house.
went up and down and up and down and up and down. That's terrible things that you do to your body. Michelle, we're just not talking about being thin. Yes, it's wonderful to be thinner and wear nice clothes and just feel better about yourself mentally.
Right.
But we're talking about health.
Physical health.
And
Absolutely.
we're living in a generation today where the young kids are so obese that they claim, the studies have been done, that young children right today will not live as long as we're going to live because of they're going to get diabetes.
With the video games and the
they're sitting on their
right.
behinds and they're playing video games and they're using their computers and they're not getting out. And we have a lot of communities that don't even have sidewalks, so they can't even ride their bike or go for a walk on outside. Parents are busy working; they don't have time for them. It's just very easy to say, "Here, have an ice cream," or "Have a bag of potato chips," or "Let's go to the fast food store." We don't have time for anything, and the French fries are delicious, and the hamburgers are fabulous and very, very easy, and so the kids are getting fatter. Well, I was fat and thin and fat and thin, and after I had my last child, I got very fat again, and I really had to, my husband needed me to go out and work to bring some more money into the house, which I said, who's going to hire me? Now I'm a size 20. Who's going to hire me? See, I thought people judge you by your weight. And I didn't realize, and I judged myself by my weight. So I thought, oh my God, you are stupid, you are dumb, you are terrible, you are ugly. Because I was weight. I didn't think how nice I was, how smart I was, how good I was, what a nice mother I was, good sister, good friend, and all the rest. I only told myself all the bad things. Well, I didn't know what to do. So I went to the diet doctor. He gave me the diet pill that I was so used to taking, and I took just one, given to me by a diet doctor, which today, I know they're called now speed. They're amphetamines. Okay. And I ended up in the hospital overdosing on one diet pill, and my family doctor said, hey, Florine, if you ever take another diet pill in your mouth, I'm not going to be responsible for your life. Wow. What do you do? How am I going to get thin? I don't know how to get thin. Sure, I know I've been on the cabbage diet, and the Atkins diet, and the ice cream diet, and the grapefruit diet, and any diet you can think of that ever came out. And there are thousands of them. Right. And none of them work. You do the work. And the whole thing is that if you eat less calories than you need to maintain your body weight, you're going to lose weight. And if you eat more calories than you need, even 100 calories, 1 pat of butter is 100 calories. If you have 1 pat of butter more than you need every single day, by the end of the year, you will gain 10 pounds. If you take out that 1 pat of butter,
that's my excuse for my 10 pounds. Huh?
Right down there, right. Right. If you take out that 1 pat of butter, just eliminate 1 pat of butter from your everyday eating, eat normal the way you eat, take away 1 pat of butter, you will eventually lose 10 pounds in 1 year without doing anything. So, it's calories in and calories out, but I didn't know that, and I didn't know about health, and I didn't know about fruits and vegetables, and I didn't know about fish and beans and all the good things. All I knew about was eating ice cream. I'm an ice creamaholic, and when I'm bored enough, miserable enough, lonely enough, unhappy enough, or happy, ice cream seems to make me feel better.
I think ice cream makes everyone feel better.
Well, it's a comfort food. Everybody has. Some people like mashed potatoes, some people like pizza, some people smoke cigarettes, some people drink alcohol, some people take pills. Everybody finds a way to relieve their anxieties. And mine was with food. And I'm addicted. I know. I would rather eat food to relieve anxieties than do anything. Anyways,
How do we get to the Weight Watchers?
I lost weight with the diet doctor. I mean, I all these years, and then I overdosed on speed. I didn't know on the diet pill. I didn't know anything about Weight Watchers. It had been in New York for 1 year, and I was going home one day from the store with my kids, and there was a Woman's Day magazine, or a Family Circle, one of those magazines, and it said, lose weight with Weight Watchers. Well, of course, I bought it. And I looked at it, and it said, had a picture of this wonderful woman, Jean Knightish, who had lost 75 pounds or 72 pounds with Weight Watchers. She was the founder. She started it all. And I called her up, and I said, I have to lose weight. She says, I'm sorry, we don't have anything in Detroit. You'll have to come to New York. I said, I can't come to New York.
Wow.
She says, well, then, you can't go to Weight Watchers. So I thought about it, and I asked my mom and dad if they would come and sit with my children, and they came and lived in the house. I went for 5 days. I took the last bit of money that I had, and I went to Weight Watchers, and I climbed up those stairs at 9911 Queens Boulevard in Queens, and it was on the 3rd floor, and I had to walk up. And there was this Jean Knightish, and who was a tall, wonderful lady, and I sat in the front of the seat, front row of the class, and she told me you have to eat. It was a terrible diet, Michelle, in those days. Oh my God, our new Points Plus is fabulous. You can eat anything you want, you just count your points. Okay, in those days, you had to have 2 breads, 2 milks, you had to have 3 fruits, you had to have 2 fish meals a week. You had to have 1 liver meal a week, and there was so many things that you couldn't eat. You couldn't have cherries, and you couldn't have watermelon, you couldn't have mayonnaise, and on and on and on and on and on. But we lost weight. We lost the weight. And after I went back once a month, I lost 10 pounds each month. And once a month I went back at the end of the 4th month, and I stayed 5 days. At the end of the 4th month, I lost 40 pounds. And they asked me to bring that back to Detroit.
When we come back, we're going to continue from where we left off
Okay.
with your story, okay? We'll be right back.